Yo, welcome to Talkin Greazy, the shop where the convo is cut, every joke is a fade. We talk big facts, big laughs, sometimes big lies that we pretend are true. Real talk, raw talk, greasy talk. Say less, say more. Say it how it is. From relationships to world news, from barbershop rumors to late night truths. We covering it all. And remember, once you start talking greasy, ain't nobody safe. So how y'all doing out there tonight? How y'all doing out there tonight? We back with another one, with another banger for you. Been had a pretty good day. I can't complain. Pretty good day. I ain't done too much. Work was work, so it is what it is. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for tapping in. Appreciate you for coming on in. Remember, as we come in, please hit that like. Costs nothing to hit that like or that subscribe. You feel me? So let me know how y'all doing out there tonight on this Wednesday evening. How y'all doing? Relaxing. Y'all know I get on here. I talk to y'all for a second. See how y'all day going. See can we get the vibe right before we get into the content. Get into the content about 15 minutes in. I'm looking at some stuff. I'm checking on some stuff. Oh shoot. Okay. I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm looking still checking on stuff. That's all. Trying to see what we got going. Um, but like I said, yeah, my day been pretty smooth. I ain't done that much today. I've been pretty much laid back, um, chilling. Been in the office most of the day, so you know what I'm saying. I had an easy, smooth day. So hopefully I had a good day. Y'all done got off. Should be relaxing. Dinner should be cooked. You know what I'm saying? Fed, feeling well, feeling full about this time. So try to catch y'all after y'all done all of your little extra stuff that you have to do when you get home. Kind of the subject I'm gonna tap into for a minute tonight. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. I'm here for a long time, not a long time, but I'm here. You feel me? I don't know how long I'm gonna be on, but we definitely gonna get to some content. You feel me? Oh, that's why I wasn't doing right. Okay. I play crazy sometimes, but it is what it is. So appreciate y'all. What's up, Zach? Thank you for tapping in, man. Most of the day. I feel you. Most of the day, yeah, you ain't done nothing either day, so I appreciate you for doing what you do. You've been had an easy day too, so we're about 9 minutes in that thing. We're gonna try to let the people tap in, try to let them come on in the room. Yeah. But anywho, like I said, hopefully y'all done did what y'all need to do or whatever you had to do when you got off today. I don't know if I'm be on tomorrow or not. I really don't know. I gotta uh, check my itinerary, check my schedule, check with my schedule, see what she got on the boards for me. I might have something else that I need to take care of. Um, tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm gonna get on to tomorrow night. So hey, Just trying to let people know ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes we be missing Talkin Greazy. Oh, my neck hurting. But what's going on with that? Do that not can't work like that? It can't work like that. It can't work like that. I don't know. Anywho, so hey, let me know what y'all got going on tonight before we get into this thing. We got about 4 more minutes. Let me know what y'all got going on. Y'all should be done ate good. Should be done. Should be in chill mode. Should be leaning back in your couch or your chair, or, or relaxing in your bed, trying to get ready to lay it down. Whatever it is you might be doing, just tap in the comments. Let me know. You feel me? That's what we do here in the shop. The shop is open. It's wide open tonight. So just want to tap in, let everybody know what we got going. And we're going to talk about it. Talk about it. Gonna discuss it for a minute. Gonna see what people got going on. Drawing and listening to you. Okay. The drawing should be going good. I know you feeling good because you're listening to me. So that's always a plus when you hear Talkin Greazy on the line. I know that's always a plus. I already know it. So appreciate you for that. For tapping in. Yes, sir. That's what we do here. About 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes, and we're gonna jump into that content. Content. We're gonna jump into it. Yeah. So hopefully we can get some people to jump on tonight. I don't know. Trying to see what they get. What they get. What they get. You know what I'm saying? See what they get right quick. Hey, but you know, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. You know, we still. That ain't what I'm trying to do. Ooh, yeah. I want to try to do that no way. You know, we still do our thing. That's what we do over here. Why I do that? That's so crazy. But anywho, so I don't know. I'm gonna send that to that one person. She said she was gonna tap in. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. I'm checking some things out real quick. Check some things out real quick. Seeing what we got going out here. That boy ain't been on in 10 hours. Ooh wee. All right, but back to content. Back to what I'm talking about on here. So um, yeah, I'm just we finna start in just a minute. Got about 2 more minutes, then we're gonna get started. So like I said, hopefully y'all had a good day. Hopefully the vibe was good, whatever you was at work, at home, whatever it may be. We're gonna get into it though. The shop is open. So get ready. Get your tea, your water, your drink, your alcohol, if that's your choice. You know what I'm saying? You put it in that cup, you sit back, you sip on it, and you relax. Because we talking greasy. You feel me? That's what we do when we in the building. That's what we do when we in the building. Get my stuff lined out right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I gotta do. I gotta get it lined out right. So about 7 seconds, we're gonna dive into the action a little bit. About 7 seconds, we're gonna dive into the action. What that is? That ain't that. So let's get started. Okay. Oh, so we here talking greasy, right? Most of the time here the mic is hot. The takes are even hotter. You feel me? And yes, we probably gonna step on a few toes with this one. So if you sensitive, well buckle up. Buckle up, cause this might sting a little bit. We're gonna talk about it. Okay? Hit that like as you come in, hit that like as you come in. The link is pinned to the top of the chat if you want to come up. The link is pinned to the top of the chat if you want to come up. So we're gonna talk about it, okay? Um, the topic for tonight. The topic for tonight. Have gender roles changed forever? That's the topic for tonight. Have gender roles changed forever? That's the topic for tonight, okay? So we're gonna moonwalk right there for a little bit. We're gonna let you slide. We're gonna cha-cha slide. Whatever you want to call it. That's what we're gonna do, okay? So now before y'all get mad up in your bunches, before you start throwing stuff, relax. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm here to talk about it. We straight. Just got out of the ER about 6. Hey, that's good, bro. I'm glad y'all good. Tell Maddie, we praying for her. Real talk, like I'm glad she good. Appreciate you tapping in, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. Glad y'all good though. Tell her get some rest. Don't be bothering her. Tell her get some rest. You be in there bothering her and stuff. Let Maddie rest. You know what I'm saying? Like leave her alone tonight. You will. Maddie, you listening? Get some rest. Tell him to go sit down somewhere. So anywho, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Hey, hit that like button if you don't mind. Subscribe. You already subscribed, I think. But hit that like button. But before y'all get mad, like I said, bro, I ain't here to bash nobody. We're gonna try to laugh. We're gonna try to debate. We're just gonna try to be real. That's what we do at Talkin Greazy. Gender roles shifted while survival. Women had to work, men had to adjust, but God's design for order and partnership hasn't changed. Only culture has. Hey, and I agree with you on that, and that's what we're gonna dig into. We're gonna dig into that thing. We're gonna dig into it, you feel me? In just a second. We're gonna dig into it, you feel me? So let's try to break it down too. Appreciate your comment. We're gonna kind of pick it back out there a little bit. Try to break it down too. Okay. Traditional roles. Traditional role were the men, he was a provider, the protector, he fixed the cars if they were towed up or something, you know what I'm saying? Took the trash out, he got the firewood, he done all the little whatnots, For the women, they were pretty much nurturers, like homemakers, like they raised the kids, they cook, they kept the house clean. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. So back in the day, it was all just a man's job was to pay the bills and stay alive. That pretty much was it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything else should have been handed to him. The woman's job was, hey, make sure everybody had a clean pair of socks and make sure the food was cooked. You know, is that fair? Mm-hmm. But that's how it was designed. That's how it was designed. You know what I'm saying? Now you could say these roles were neutral, You can shape it off anything you want to shape it off of: economics, religion, survival, whatever you want to shape it off of. You know what I'm saying? Like, but traditionally, that's the way it was. I mean, they changed in culture, not in function. A man who refuses to lead still leads a gap, and a woman who refuses to nurture still leads a gap. And that's what we're gonna get into, cause that's what I'm saying. See, cause we're gonna get into that because you gotta think about it. Cause at the time where women decided to, let's just say, fight for kind of equal rights amongst women and men, you know what I'm saying? Women moved into the workforce then, right? And then a few years down the road, what men started turning into stay-at-home dads, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So the roles slowly adjusted. Now, once them roles are adjusted, can we say that everything needed to happen in that home happened? See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now the man is the stay-at-home dad. Do them kids still get that nurturing that they need because of the woman? Because of the woman working most of the time. Equal rights doesn't mean interchangeable. Even in teams, everyone has their line. That's true. That's true. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. 10 toes down, agree with you. Like, but we just gotta follow how it go. You know what I'm saying? That stuff happened. That everybody started trying to do their own thing. The society itself started trying to kind of make their own roles, if you would. And now you got to think about it. Now you got men learning to do yoga, while the women is at work, you know, handling meetings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, they both still arguing about what? Who gonna take out the trash? Still an argument about who gonna take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you gotta think about it. And I'm just saying, have the roles been changed forever? Are we going into a direction to where the traditional roles are being pushed completely out? Now, I ain't saying you ain't got still got traditional people out there, but is the way that the traditional people, or the amount that we have, or the percentage that we have, is that gonna be enough to push the traditional roles back into place? Okay. My Middle Eastern friend told me yoga is a religion, and see, I mean, I don't know. It might be in certain cultures. I don't know. Like, I haven't studied all the cultures, so it might be in certain cultures. I can't say it ain't. But it definitely might be. Culture might shift, but design always win. Ignore it long enough, and chaos shows up. I can agree with you on that. I definitely can agree with you on that. Chaos does tend to show up if you kind of ignore it long enough. Um, but can we say technology and culture kind of flipped the script? Like dual income households became the norm. It's almost the norm. Is the norm. Like, you almost need two incomes to make it. Like, that's the way it is now. Like, so where back then the man was able to work on work one job and be able to take care of his household with multiple kids. Cause shoot, families back then, you had 11, 12, 13 kids. So you got to think about that. They had them many kids, and now we have 3, 4, and we struggling. Like, maybe they knew how to do it better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they knew how to stretch it. Maybe we don't know how to stretch it along the way, because they made it look easy to me, anyway. Because I never knew at that point we would consider poor, or you consider struggling. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandparents and my parents made it look easy. Like, I ain't never want for nothing. They looked like they had everything. They like they enjoyed life. Like, so, but we got to think about it, because at the end of the day, education opened doors, and at that point, you had women getting degrees. Um, you had men going to work at 18 who ain't getting no degrees, but most of the women are. You got more women out here now with degrees than you have men. Like, so that automatically, if they are in the workforce, genuinely put them in a higher position than you, because they have a degree and you don't. So now you asking the question, do I sit at the house, or to some of these men, do I sit at the house because my wife, significant other, whatever you want to call it, girlfriend, is bringing home more money? She's a breadwinner. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So these are decisions that has to be made now, because some men rather be at home while they want to work. Some women rather work and allow their man to be at home. I don't know if I could do that. That's a tough decision. Like, I can't. It's hard for me to sit at home not making no type of money while my significant other goes out and work a 9 to 5 or 8 to 6. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be, and bring in the money, and I'm contributing nothing but sweeping the floor, washing the dishes, or something like that. People these days don't know the real struggle. Very few do. The ones that do know struggle typically were raised by the older generation, and that's true. That's so absolutely true right there. Like, the newer generation, all they know is air conditioner and video games, and never want for nothing. Cause and I'm putting myself in this category. Some of it can be us to blame as parents, because we tend now to try to give our kids everything they ask for. Back then, you asked for it, you almost knew you wasn't gonna get it. You got what you got, and you was happy about it. That's it. Now these kids get presents for birthdays, uh, presents for Christmas, about 5 or 6 presents for Christmas. Then they just get just cause I love you presents in the middle of summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so so, and that ain't knocking nobody that's saying, okay, I made it out the mud, I got a little money, I want to spoil my kids. That ain't knocking nobody. But I'm just saying the generations of how it uh, is is very different now. Off topic, we good my way. Been an eventful day. Yeah. Hey, sometimes we had them, bro. We had them eventful days. You take them, bro. You put that in your memory bank, and you keep going back to it. To, hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Had to have something real quick. I'm sorry about that. Uh, Anywho, let's not forget, hit the like button, hit that comment button, hit the subscribe button. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. You want to come up, chop it up, pin to the. And you might be right. I haven't done the. I haven't looked at the statistics of it. Maybe I should have. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe I should have done that. Anywho, but I didn't. So, but and you might be right. Mic check. Mic check. Okay. And you might be right. But I'm just saying, like some men now, or some women now, like they want they or suggest uh if they're making more money for that man to stay at home, and that man, some men decide to do that. So are we headed into a place in society to where we see more men at home and more women in the workplace? Or are we headed that way? You know what I'm saying? So we got to talk about the modern day arguments, that people still have, because even though to, we switch roles, but there's still arguments, there's still discussions, there's still problems, still issues at hand. You see what I'm saying? Like, so most of the stuff is still, I think from the man's perspective, he might say, okay, the woman says she want equality, until the check comes. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women feel like, hey, that check is mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I mean, is that tradition, or is that just cultural, or is it just a, a um a decision or agreement that you come with in your household? Like, and this is on the basis of both of y'all working, okay? Because if you one of y'all working, then it can't just be just yours. But on the basis of both of y'all working, that woman, whatever money she make, is it just hers? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do you say, "Oh no, we got to split this," or you got to help out, or I got this. You know what I'm saying? And then on the women's side, women gonna be like, most men say they want a traditional woman, which I've talked to a lot of men, and they do say that. But then, from the women perspective, you say you want a traditional woman, but you don't want the traditional bills. I mean, so it's almost like a toss up. You know what I'm saying? So, and most men, you got very select men right now that's willing to pay all the bills, and that woman just enjoy the money that she have or whatever she brings in. Um, and then some of them feel like they can't because of the job they have. You know what I'm saying? Some men feel like, I can't sit here and pay all these bills because you know I'm not making six figures. I'm not making this. I'm not making that. You know what I'm saying? So that point, I guess it's a conversation y'all have to have between each other. Like, do that man go get another job to make sure you take care of all the bills, or is that woman willing to help? You know what I'm saying? It makes a difference. It's conversations that has to be sit down and had between the two individuals that's involved in that, like for real. So, but yeah, we just what the world? We just talking about it. We're just trying to discuss it a little bit right now. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna slide on down through there. You know what I'm saying? So, mm, so we're gonna dig a little bit deeper. Um, some people feel like social media give out unreal expectations of a relationship or the financial part of a relationship or how the relationship's supposed to go or the gender roles of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what you believe or what you're trying to build with your family. Um, if you're a traditional person and then you meet a non-traditional woman, then how do they go? I know we said a man rules. I know we said a man is the head, man is the lead. But most men try to give into what their woman wants to or what their woman thinks it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like most men give into that for her to be happy or just to keep the peace. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just about having the peace too, because um, you don't want to go the way you want to go, and then you ain't got no peace in the house. At that point, what joy is it? What fun is it? Because then you're gonna have resentment even about coming home from work. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no peace there. But everybody gotta stop comparing their roles to the stuff that they see on TikTok or Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it could definitely be persuasion in the wrong way. Social media sets your standard. You already lost. Rules don't come from the reals. They come from order, values, and real life. And that's a great point. That's where they should come from. That's a great point. But you know how the old saying, say, I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know, a lot of people see other people doing stuff a certain way or they household a certain way, and they feel like they should follow what they were doing because they see that person look like they having a great time living that life the way they living. So why not let me try to implement this into my household, and maybe I live a good life too, or maybe I follow what they do because like they having fun, like she got a lot of freedom, like he got a lot of freedom. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people look at each other's relationships and want to mimic what theirs is because it looks good on the outside, not knowing what they're going through on the inside now, not knowing whether they sleeping in the same bed at night, not knowing whether they fussing every night, but they making it look good in the public. So because they say, oh, we got a non-traditional marriage, then somebody else say, okay, let me try a non-traditional marriage because it look like they got success with it. So, but to your point, that's where it need to come from. It need to come from all the values in real life, or it need to come from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The Bible speaks of roles of a man and a woman. So, according to what you believe, that's where it can come from too. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's let's go a little bit further. So, had the roles just really disappeared on us? Because I do feel like it's just people nowadays making up their own type of roles or what they feel will make them happy or what they feel they should be doing. Um, I feel like it's choosing just whatever now. I feel like traditional roles are slowly fading away in relationships when we talk about the gender roles. So I feel like they're slowly fading away. But because you even got to think about it, like you got a lot of people right now, some couples that go 50-50. You got some that go old school. You got some that swap completely. So each dynamic is different. But that's just three of them. It's gonna be some more in a few more years. You know what I'm saying? Of the dynamics of genders in the relationships. They're gonna come up with a few more. If you give it a couple more years, all because of what somebody think would be good. Because we're slowly fading away from Christ and the cross. That's a good point. It's a sad point, but it's definitely a good point. Excuse me. And if we get back to that way, we get back towards Christ and the cross. Um, can we change this back? Can this become a more of a traditional world again? Can we turn that all the way around? You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's heading in one direction into to JNYG studio. Their point earlier, you ignore it long enough, chaos comes. So are we prepared for that chaos too? Actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we prepared for that? Like, what gender roles are you implementing in your relationship to keep what we have, or keep the traditional going, or are you evolving to the new way? You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody is evolving, then where the tradition goes, do we have anybody to teach the old tradition to the new generation, or the new generation even listening to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, all that plays a part in it. All that plays a huge part in it. Amen. Casey Shepard, thank you for joining. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for tapping in. Appreciate you. So the dynamics of gender roles. Do it matter what we used to do? Or are we at a point that we just saying, as long as two people agree and stay in their lane, then we good? Do it matters? Do it matters to us? Do it matter to society? Do it matters to the generations behind us? Like, because at some point we have to fade away, and the generation behind us have to. You are very welcome. I've heard a lot of great things about you in travel. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's my little bro. I appreciate that. So thank you for tapping in. Kudos to Trevor for that. Yeah, I be trying to be good most of the time. So sometimes I can't. So, hey, but once again, hit that like button. The link is pinned to the top of the chat if you want to come up. Want to come up on the panel and talk? That's fine. We do it that way too. Whichever one works for me. That's your baby, huh? Oh, okay. 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 I don't know how to take that. My mind don't go in the right places all the time. I don't know how to take that. So that's your baby. I don't know if you're saying no, you ain't. No, cause it's on somewhere. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna skip that part right now. Uh, we're grown, but we'll always be mama's boy. Okay, okay. Okay. You the okay. All right, cool beans. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. I was confused for a second. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't want to elaborate on. I'm confused for a second, but I got you now. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. They matter, but opposite point of view. If roles don't matter, why do people still complain when the other side doesn't do theirs? And that's a great point. But I think it matters because at the end of the day, even if you switch roles, you still have some type of expectation on what you expect that role to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I say I'm gonna stay at home and my wife gonna go to work and she gonna provide, like she still gonna have some type of expectations for me at that house by the time she get home from work. And if I don't do it, then that's still where the complaining gonna come from. Or if I feel like she don't do what she's supposed to do and she don't pay her bill because we have reverse roles, then that's where I'm gonna complain it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's still gonna be some complaining because the expectation's still gonna be there. So, but now if the expectations are met, then it shouldn't be no complaining at all. Really shouldn't be. My goodness, you good. I guess I should tell you I was. Oh no, you good. You good. You ain't have to tell me. I just sometimes you just gotta be quiet about stuff. But you good. But thank you for tapping in. Appreciate that for real. For real. Roles haven't disappeared. Dave blurred. People still want protection, provision, loyalty, and peace. The labels changed, but the needs didn't. And that's true. So okay, so since you said that, can you switch roles and still get that? Can you switch roles and still get that? If we were to switch roles, would that individual be able to say they still got the same thing out of it that they would get if we were doing the old fashioned um no. So hmm, so the roles only have to be one way for everything to fall in place with the provision, loyalty, and peace and protection. So you don't. So let's talk about that, okay? So you don't think a stay-at-home dad could give you protection? That's the first question. Can a stay-at-home dad give you protection? We just gonna sidewalk it right there, real quick for a second, and see what we got going. Hmm, okay, so because I mean, I'm just playing. We just playing devil's advocate with it because I believe a a stay-at-home dad can still give you some type of protection. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe he can still provide that for you. Now, will it be to the point of what you want? Then, well, it still be to the point of what you want. Okay, Trevor said yes. He said that stay at home dad can still provide protection. Okay, uh, get some more in there. Get some more in there. Come on now. Oh, oh, I. Oh, well, I don't know what oh I mean. What oh I mean? Oh, I. Okay, yep. You wanted me to sing. That's what that was. If I knew that song, I'd sing it. I promise you. That's why you said oh I like that. But and provision. I mean, I don't. Can a stay at home dad give you provision? You know what I'm saying? Supplying or making something available. Can he do that? Yes, yes. Okay, so can a stay at home dad give you loyalty? I believe he can. I believe he can give you loyalty at home. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be going nowhere anyway if he ain't going to work. He should be at the house anyway. He should be loyal. He should be the loyalest one of all. He shouldn't be going nowhere. He shouldn't even have no key to a vehicle. I'm sorry. I'm old school. So the Bible says, man don't work, he don't eat. So I'm old school, so he shouldn't have nothing. You should have a lock on the door when you leave. That man shouldn't even be able to leave the house if he's a stay-at-home dad. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. So the loyalty shouldn't be no problem. Okay, hold on, let me see what you're saying there. No, I was thinking more on the lines of if I was a wife and I suck at making money because I was disabled, and you were a husband and you suck at cooking, but you were great at making money. If we switched, we would be in a bad place. Now that's true. Now that's so true right there. That's true right there. Now I ain't gonna lie to you on that. That's true. But and then with this gender roles switching stuff, like you gotta know each other's strengths too. You got to know what you can do because ain't no point in me. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna get back to that in a minute, Trevor. I'm gonna get you back to that in a minute. Because ain't no point in me being at home if all I can cook is some rice and gravy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I can cook for you when you get home from work is rice and gravy. So ain't no point in me ain't no point of us switching roles with me. I'm just saying I'm not saying that's all I can cook, but I'm just hypothetically saying so. You know what I'm saying? But that's true. Trevor, no matter if a man is at home or at work, it doesn't change his morals or values. That's true. That's true. So that's why I say at the end of the day, he should be one of the most loyal persons at home. Anyway, at Trevor, right? Okay, all right, okay. Madeline Boy, okay. Appreciate you tapping in, Maddie. Maddie, yeah. I'm sorry. Hey, we gotta do this for Maddie. That's my girl. I don't care. Nobody say they better not get mad at me. We gotta do this for Maddie. Hold up one second. Let me find it. We gotta do this for Maddie. Yep. Gotta do that for Maddie. Yep. So do round of applause for Maddie. Cause somehow she on here and I know she ain't feeling well. So appreciate you for that, Maddie. For real. That's appreciate you for that. All right, hold on. I'm sorry. All right, I'm back into it now. Okay. Just because he's staying at home, dad does not mean that he cannot still be a protector. That's what a man was made for, to be a protector and a provider. That's right. But you can't. I mean, we can't put provider in there if he's staying at home. Not matter. We cannot put provider in there if he's staying at home. Dad. He can be still be a protector now, but we cannot put provider in there. Okay. Okay. I feel that a man is still a man in a situation. Although I do prefer and feel that a man should be a provider in a situation. In a situation, roles do reverse sometimes. That's true. That's true. And that's kudos to you, Casey, because some women, um, they look down on certain men in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Whether he ain't making enough money or whether he take a different role or whatever it may be. Like some people do actually look at him in a different light, but that doesn't mean that he could protect any less. Just not the role I would prefer him to be. Okay, so you want a provider. You want a man to actually go out there and grind for it. You want a man to go get out the mud. Okay, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Where is Maddie? Come on in here, girl. You know this is your type of discussion. Okay, so she said, "Come on in, man." Why not? Because providing comes more than just financially. What about taking care of children or your wife, regardless, financially protecting spiritually? Okay. Um. Okay. Yeah, Lord. Okay, we finna walk down through that then. We finna walk down through that now. Now, y'all need to come up on the panel. We're gonna walk down through there. Okay. So now, to, you got a great point. You do have a great point. Now it is different types of providers. But I was only speaking on the money part. I was only speaking on the financial part. Now you got a point there about him being a provider, um, um, taking care of his children or his wife, and spiritually. That's true because um, I'm slowly working on that part myself. So, but amen to that. Yeah, you know, we ain't gonna go down that road right now. Why not? A husband can still provide at home. Okay, but I was only speaking because now both of y'all want to jump on me. You and Maddie want to jump on me at the same time. Okay, cool. But I was only speaking on the financial part. You see what I'm saying? So don't jump on me right now. Don't jump on the messenger. I was just saying financial part. Now to y'all point, it's other levels to providing that the man can do. But most men, when they first think about providing, their first aspect is the money part. So that's where my mind went, was to the money, because if I can't provide with the money, then I'm to me myself, I feel less as a man, to me now. So what if he becomes a tech boss, stay at home dad? Well, I mean, if he's a tech boss, stay at home dad, then he still brings an income into the house. So at that point, he's not necessarily just a stay at home dad. He's a working from home dad. He's not just a stay at home dad. So when I say stay at home dad, like he has no income. He's pretty much, the roles have pretty much switched from a traditional role from a man going to work to the woman going to work. So he's at home cleaning up, washing clothes, making sure the kids dressed, making sure you get them off the bus, and food should be done by the time the woman get home from work. That's what um I forgot I was trying to. That's what I was saying when I said that. Financially, yeah, trouble financially. I don't know. It's a lot going on right now. Come on now, preach. Let's search up in here. We don't talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm good. I'm here for it. I'm just gonna sit back and listen, y'all. Okay, cool bean. I got you, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They tried to jump me right then. It's cool though. They tried to jump me real quick. I seen it real quick. I caught out the side of my eye. But like I told, I was just only talking about the financial aspect of it. So, but to your point, yes, if a man provides in other areas, then he's still a provider. But is he the provider that you need? That's the point. That's the question I'm trying to get to. At that point, is he a provider that you need or want, or will be able to handle in that type of situation? Because most women want that money. Most women want that money. You see what I'm saying? Like, if he provides in other ways, is that enough for the relationship that y'all have together to make sure that there's no problems between each other, there's no arguments, um, and the relationship will flourish with him being that type of provider and you providing on the other end? Because I don't know. Mm, 'Cause I just only believe in a man providing, because I believe that woman needs to be home majority of the time anyway to feed into the children, because most children, all children need that nurturing that a woman can give that a man can't give. A man can't give a child nurture. Only that woman can give them that. That's what I think. Now I could be wrong. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know all of it now. My dad worked on a drilling rig and my mom stayed home. When they remarried, both of my parents worked. My mom more than my stepdad. So I kind of seen it both ways. Okay, and that's a great point. So you seeing it both ways. To your opinion, which one looked the best to you, or which one do you feel like had a greater impact on the life or the lives around it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad. Now I will say, in today's generation, people don't want to work, man or woman, regardless. Two incomes is better than one. That's true. That's true nowadays. I ain't lying. Speaking for myself, I want to stay home, but still want to work, but not ask the time, just enough to help. And I can feel you on that. Like, and that's fact. Cause I mean, that help is needed in today's society, or in the economy that we in now. Like, that help is needed unless you got that man that's making six figures, or more a month to carry the load. Like, and some people got that, and then some people can do that. But for the most part, and it's good that you're willing to help, because like you said, now some people, men and women, they don't want to work, and that's why I'm asking how the roles change, because I've seen some women that get with these men that don't want to work, and they stay with them. You know what I'm saying? Or I've seen men get with women that don't want to work. You know, and they deal with it. They struggle, but hey, they seem to be okay or happy or whatever the situation may be. They seem like they make it work now. I don't know the insides of their life, but what we got here? I totally agree with you. They're the kids' main reason. Be the best way for everybody, right? Because I don't know. Like I said, I'm traditional, so I believe in, uh, especially that woman working less than that man. Like I ain't gonna sit there and tell her she can't work. You know what I'm saying? If she want to help, but I definitely believe that the man should carry uh, majority of the load, because to me that creates a more of a peace in your household when the man does it traditionally than this new age um, wave that we are going into, because you don't know, it's changing, the dynamics of it is changing so much you really don't know what it is, so you're going into it blind trying to figure it out too, because every time you look up the new wave giving you something different. You know what I'm saying? So I need it traditional. That's the way I need it. So if the roles haven't changed forever, or if they have changed forever, like, how do we work on getting it back to where it need to be? You're right. That's what a man was made for. He can handle more physically, but a woman more spiritually. And I definitely believe you on the spiritual part. I ain't lying. I'm still working on the spiritual part myself. I ain't lying. From what I've seen, roles get messy when people uh, confuse equality with some with that's that shameness. Okay, I can't see. Equal value does not mean identical function. Oh shoot. Oh, right. And I totally agree with you on that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, with the way that it's going now, it will be confusing. Like I said, in another in another 2 years, we probably gonna have another dynamic of how the roles are or should be in a family. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many dynamics we can come up with or society can come up with, but they're doing a great job right now coming up with all the different kinds. You know what I'm saying? So, because I just can't, I don't know if I could be a stay at home dad. Like, I don't know. I got to contribute something. Like I'm just saying that I got to contribute something. I don't know if I could just be a fully stay at home dad where I don't bring in no income and my wife take care of everything. Like, now if we own businesses, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different because you can pretty much stay at home when you want to, or go check out it when you need to, or you have somebody that's doing that particular task for you. But just say I ain't got nothing going on, nothing. I ain't got no side hustle going on, nothing. I'm sitting at the house. I'm letting you work. I'm letting you come home, mow the yard, while I sit in a recliner and watch uh, Family Feud. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I can't. That's uh. But how people are nowadays, men want to do more. Men want to do more. Women are, what's that? Diane things. and women more muscular things. That's true. That's true. And that comes to what I mentioned earlier. Oh, she meant feminine thing. Okay. And that comes to what I was talking about earlier about, I mean, because once the women got into the workforce, and then I just mentioned degrees earlier, but you got a lot of these women out here that say they could do a man job better than a man. You know what I'm saying? What we characterize as a man job, and they say they could do it better than a man. So it's almost like, and that's where I want to say maybe that's where the dynamics coming from, because it's almost like we done made it into a competition now of um who has the most uh testosterone in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be competition between male and female. There are some women I have been guilty of this who want to be the boss and make it hard for a man to step into his role. Hey, now my hat go off to you, because you actually said that, because you have a lot of women and they're scared to admit that part right there, to admit that what they trying to do, and they aspect and how they want to run stuff kind of interferes with that man stepping into that role. A lot of women would not admit that, for real. Now that's true facts there. It goes back to the point you made earlier, how kids don't have good traditional guidance. Boys need to see their father being a role model for that traditional lifestyle. That's true. Now, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Um, we do have to make sure this younger generation sees that type of dynamic. But we know with the way it's going, all of them ain't gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? So, because other people don't do the traditional thing. You know what I'm saying? So we was thinking alike. Yeah, we was on that one. I ain't gonna lie. I knew it. I knew I was gonna get you on that. Nope, at Casey. Whatever woman does that is out of line, it only hurts her biologically and spiritually. Okay, so, but it hurts that man too. Now, if she's out of line, I mean, that's what I would think. Now, I mean, hey, in the shop, everybody has type their own opinion. But I don't know if it kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? If it kind of hinders that man from leadership, like, at that point, it hurts both of them. You know, it hurts the woman and the man. You know what I'm saying? Because that man is trying to step into that role, and if that woman is not allowing him to step into that role, then that hinders both of them. That's why there should be a mother and a father in a child's life to see how a mother is supposed to be cleaning the house, cooking, and how our fathers are supposed to be. That's true. That's true. But yeah, you will want it that way, but that ain't how it always works out. But to your point, it does need to be that way, or that father, that mother still has to go the extra mile to make sure that their child understands how the roles should be when they grow up and when they get into a relationship or a marriage of their own. The signs tell us that the lady body can't handle stepping into that role biologically. It increases woman's cortisol levels. Okay. And that in turn stresses us out, makes us fat, and give us wrinkles. Yeah, we don't need that then. We don't need the people fat and wrinkles. Nothing against fat people. I'm sorry. I said that. I probably shouldn't have said that. Please forgive me. I probably shouldn't have said that. Okay. Never mind. Anywho, um, also this is probably why the Bible tells us not to do it as well, because when God created us, He knew it would hurt us. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you gotta elaborate on that. I ain't read that part yet. I ain't gonna sit here and lie like I done read that part. Mm-hmm. Yep. You got that one. Yep. Mm-hmm. On top of seeing a healthy relationship for the kids to see how they're supposed to be treated. Now that's true. Um, that's true. Uh, healthy relationship needs to be seen. Um, and it don't always work out that way. But as long as you're working towards it, I think it's still beneficial, especially if you still kind of give them guidance and understanding on what it needs to be. But when they get there, because we ain't perfect. A lot of us still learning. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you go talk about kids, like a lot of us, even though we've had 1, 2 kids, like whatever the situation may be, because every child is different. So it's almost like you still got to learn individually how to raise that particular child. So, okay, what we got? What we got? What we got? I agree with Madeline. You got to change your name. Kids to see this, but unfortunately, this is not always the case. And yeah, that's true. But long, I think even if it's not the case, long as you're trying to instill um, that in them kids, long as you still kind of doubling back to ensure them that they understand, even though you may see this, this is not the way it's supposed to be, or this is not the way it should be, and still explain to them thoroughly how it should be. Um, I think it'll still work out fine for the kids. It all goes into what kind of lifestyle you're raised into. You can turn from it or towards it. That's true. That's true too. Yeah, because at a certain age, you got to decide what type of lifestyle you want then. Uh, because we all were raised from, I think, different aspects. You know what I'm saying? Just how um, people being different. So when you get to that level and you decide what you want, or what you want to be, or how you want to be, or how you want to be treated, like that's a dynamic that you have to put into place. Then we got bam. I read that one. Okay, bam. Regardless if you're married or not, it should still be a healthy relationship, co-parenting, or keeping it healthy balance so the kids don't see you arguing. That, that's whew. um, hmm, hmm. That's you. You're absolutely correct. I cannot say you're wrong on that, but don't always work that way, because a lot of time when you go to break up with people, you have people that's they mad, they jealous if you move on, um, they hate you for a little spell because of whatever happened in the relationship and it didn't turn out right. You know what I'm saying? So, but to your point, kids do need to see a kind of a healthy co-parenting thing. Um, that's a great point. I wish it was always like that. But once again, I think because sometimes kids gonna see stuff you don't want them to see. But like I said, we just double back, kind of reiterate to them what needs to be, or what should be, or how it shouldn't be. I think you still build a great child with understanding and knowledge of what they should look for in a relationship when they get to that point. When they get to that point, I'm sorry. So, hey, a lot of great points. A lot of great points. Um, So, so I think the old blueprint is kind of, it's just my opinion. I think the old blueprint is kind of out the window now, and not just because we don't have traditional people left in the world. I think because of the way the economy is and the rate of the way the economy is going. I think the traditional way, unless you somehow become a millionaire, you win the lottery, or you make it to some type of league. Because let's just be honest, we in Mississippi, and for the most part, Mississippi don't pay enough money for one working household. Unless you're willing to go on the road, you know what I'm saying, and be away from your family for a certain amount of time, something like that. Like, and I've done that for a while. I don't. That's not a good feeling. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know how nobody else feel about that, but I've done that for a while. Being away from home, not being able to see your kids, or miss their events or something like that. Like that's not just for some money. Just to say, I'm making this type of money, making that type of money. One thing I learned, you can't get that time back. Like I couldn't come back and rewind them days to miss what my kids already had done. So that ain't fun. Okay, where we at? Bam, 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 bam. Kids get mixed signals about what leadership, provision, and nurturing look like. That's true too. That's true too. And hopefully they do get that, but hopefully by the time they get to that level of where they need to step into that role, that they will be done seeing what it actually looks like and understand what it entails. Um, but they can be who they need to be on that level. Speaking of kids, that's my cue. Let me get in here, get mine to sleep, cause he's in the holler. So nice talk to y'all, and good and night night to my two babies in here. You know who you are. I appreciate you for tapping in. Thank you. You have a great night. Appreciate you. Sons may struggle with responsibility. Daughters may normalize carrying both loads. And that's true. And see that's where, and I think that's where we headed. I think that's the type of society we are headed into. Um, the sons part, I think we can kind of fix. It's just gonna take work. It's just gonna take work. It's just gonna have to be a lot of work on the sons part. The daughters part, I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can fix that. Because you got a lot of single moms out here that do carry both loads and make it look easy. That's why so many people think it's okay to do it. I think like they really make it look easy. Is it right? No, it's not right. But you got a lot of them doing it. Then you got we ain't got a we ain't got a we ain't got a lot of men out here available in these uh in the right mind space, in the right aspect of what they need to be in for the family role. And so a lot of these women feel like it's almost best for them just to be single and continue to carry both loads. So I just think if we work on the guys or the sons a little bit more, we work on that aspect of it, and we can get the sons back to where they are handling their business. Then I think we can. I think that'll trickle over to the daughters carrying both loads. That's what I think, man. Bam, bam. Or you work at 45. It's Fortamula. It's Fortamula. That's the name of it. Fortamula. Hey, Lord have mercy. You ain't lying, boy. You ain't lying. You ain't never told a lie. You ain't tell one end. Oh, we don't even know what we is right now. All we know we is a place of business. That's great. you know, you're right. Regardless, if you have a certification or degree, they don't see the value in a accurate pay. So they don't. So I mean, and I don't know. Like, just be talking because I don't know a lot about women and what they get paid in the work area. I mean, workforce. I'm sorry, in the workplace. Like, because I've heard people talk about um, women get treated different. They don't get paid much as men, even if they got a degree or a certificate. Like, but that been some years back, so I don't know if that's changed. I don't know has that gotten better. I don't know because, and to your point, like I know some women right now that got certificates um, in LPN and stuff like that, or RN stuff like that, and would still work two jobs. So I don't. So it could very well be that they're not getting that respect or the same level of pay that they should be getting if they was a man or not. What roles aren't agreed on? Decisions turn into battles. That's true. That's true, and that's what I'm saying. With the way that we going, like it's almost like every different relationship will have to sit down and decide what roles it needs to be in that in that relationship. Because normally you come into it the traditional way, you can just come in there and you know what your roles is. Now it's almost like you got to sit down and have a conversation about it because the dynamic has changed so many different ways. Bills might get paid, but peace get strained if roles aren't clear. That's true. That's true. And then at that point, even if the bill's paid and you ain't got no peace, who gonna want to be there where ain't no peace at? Ain't nobody gonna want to be there. Then for long, y'all don't even want to be around each other. Y'all finna break up or get a divorce or something like that. Like so, that's true. So you got to have that conversation. Even though them bills get paid, you still want to be very peaceful at home. So nice talking to you. I'm about to get in this bed. Hey, nice talking to you too. Like I said, appreciate you tapping in. Hey, continue to tap in. I try to go live every night if possible. Um, if not, whatever. We appreciate you. Good night, Ed Casey. Okay, that come from JNYG Studio. Good night. I would say both genders struggle in their own ways, and that's true too. That's true too because, and then the thing about it is a lot of women don't know how men struggle because a lot of men ain't gonna talk about it. A lot of men just gonna take it on their shoulder and just walk with it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna talk about how they feel like they get mistreated or how they feel like they ain't appreciated at work or they feel like they should be making more and this guy over here getting paid more than me. Like I mean, a lot of guys is not gonna complain about it or let it be known. They're just gonna put that on their shoulder and run with it because I mean, most men know men are raised. You just suck it up. You suck it up and you go and do what you got to do. You don't worry about it. You don't complain about it. Um, you suck it up. That the older generation, from what I was taught, that's a weakness. It's a weakness to let you know that I feel some type of way or that I'm complaining about something like. So that's why it's hard to get a lot out of men. I think, especially in healthcare. And you might be right. I ain't never really been in the healthcare business, but I have heard stories about that. So, and that's the messed up part because If you got the same degree or same certificate I got, what what makes you better than me that you should be getting paid more than me? Especially if we kind of been here the same amount of time or stuff like that, and we got the same amount of experience. Like we should be getting paid the same amount. I think now. I mean, it's just fair. Like I don't believe I should be getting any more than you if you could do the job just as well as I can. And if you could do it better, you should be getting paid more than me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like if we just being fair across the board, with everybody, then you should be getting just as much as you need or what you are entitled to, put it that way. So, but yeah, I don't know. So, do y'all feel we could change the dynamics of the way that it's going now? But what does it hurt to talk about it? Why keep it bottled up? Men have a higher depression rate because it because keep it in, and that's true. Well, I, mm, um, you keep it in a lot of times just because most of the time that's all you know. Like like for most men, if you were brought up kind of old fashioned or traditional, like you was taught that was a form of weakness. And for a man, you don't want to seem weak. You don't want to seem weak. You're supposed to be the person that gives the strength. You're supposed to be the person that can handle stuff. You're supposed to be a provider, and traditionally, a provider does not be weak. So if we are taught that's a sign of weakness, then yes, we gonna hold it in because I can't seem weak to you. Because if I seem weak to you, then you might not feel like you could trust me or lean on me because I'm already feel like to you might have enough on me. Now you don't want to talk. You see what I'm saying? Hold up, 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 hold up. Hey, where you at? Hmm. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. Yeah, you there? I see you. I hear you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Okay. What you got to add to this? See, you been in the chat. Just think about
Which part?
it. We were just talking about depression with men because it's instilled in us from a young age to suck it up, right? And for most men, that's what it is. Like we want to be the stronger being, so we ain't gonna try to seem weak by allowing you to know that we are or things are getting to us. Put it that way. So you you brush it off, you push it, put it in the back somewhere. See what I'm saying? You deal with it.
I
What you
can't
think?
speak from a man's perspective because I'm not a man.
Hmm.
Um, but from a woman's perspective, I mean, watching a husband or a boyfriend do that is quite devastating to say the least. I mean, I wouldn't
So
want my man just like. Do you mean like okay? So let's clarify the question. So do
mhm.
you mean like um as it relates to gender roles, like are you asking like is it a feminine for a man to kind of push down those emotions, or are you asking like is that traditional? What are you asking?
Well, we were saying for a man, like traditionally, we was raised to hold a lot of stuff in because we were speaking on in the workplace, and I was just saying a lot of men don't talk about how they're treated or mistreated in the workplace because we were raised to just brush it off, put it on your shoulder, and you carry it. You don't complain about it. You don't show that you don't you don't be that vulnerable to show that you are maybe weak because some people we were raised that that's a weak aspect of a person. You know what I'm saying? You just continue to get it done. You just continue to go on. So the question would be, would you want your man kind of to relate it to you how he feel like he's being mistreated or treated at work, or would you be okay with him holding that in?
Okay, first of all, thank you for that because when you're backstage, you miss some of the podcast, like it pauses and you can't hear or see what's going on.
Right.
So, thank you for that. But yeah, like, in my marriage, I welcome that type of, um, because I really feel like it's kind of intimate. You know what I mean? Like, especially like in a marriage, like, cause I've done both. Um, I've never stayed with a live-in boyfriend before. I've only lived with a man in a marriage. So I can only speak from that standpoint. And coming from that point of view, I actually encouraged it. Um to be honest, I don't my late husband was raised like that, kind of like to push stuff down and like not to talk about it or whatever, but we were best friends. And so when he would come home, often I would have to like console him and ask him like, "Hey, how was your day?" And he'd be like, "Oh, work stuff." And I'd be like, "Do you want to talk about it?" As I'm running him bath water and getting his clothes ready, so that he can immediately get in the tub and decompress. And one time at work, because he worked in
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. So you doing it like that? You running bath water and getting clothes ready and stuff? That's
absolutely, absolutely. I was a housewife. I had plenty of time to do all of that. My husband took care
oh,
of all the bills. And so it was literally my job. Like I felt like I don't know if I was delusional, but I felt like I was the best part of his day. So I had to make it special every single day, in my opinion. So, but like I was saying, like I remember this one time he had come home, and it made me realize how much men actually go through at work, because he used to work in like a factory type setting. And he used to come home all dirty and stressed out. And one day he came home and he was just like pissed off, like teed, like just do not talk to me, do not touch me. I don't want hugs and kisses. And I was like, when I finally got out of him, I left him alone for a while, let him decompress. And then when he started to open up about it, it was this particular guy that was like, not necessarily picking on him, but he was saying stuff that my late husband did not like at all. And so I probably shouldn't have done this, but it literally affected my household at the house. Like he was like not a person that you want to be around that afternoon. And so it affected me so much that the next day I drove to his job and I waited for that man. And I told that man he better not talk to my husband like that again, because I have to hear it when he comes home to me at night. And that man never bothered him again. Like I gave him a talking to. Because it affects the wife, especially like being a stay-at-home wife. It affects the kids. The kids weren't able to like jump all over him. Like his mood changed. And then also being like an introvert, especially if a man is an introvert, from my experience, like if you're not their person or if that man doesn't feel safe with you, he's not going to ever tell you what's going on. And as a woman, you kind of want to know, because we're not mind readers. Like we're not, witches. Like we can't, telepathically think like, oh, what are you, we don't know. So that man would have to have, you know, um, emotional intelligence in that way, or be able to open up to you so that we can work through it as a married couple. And we just happen to have that relationship. And so I feel like I really don't have a problem if a man kind of shuts down, as long as he eventually opens up. Like, I'm also not gonna wait 6 months for him to open up, like, because then we have a different problem, right? Like, you
Okay.
shouldn't be holding grudges. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I can understand if a person's personality or their character is like introverted, and that person is genuinely like, you knew this when you guys were dating before you got married, that this person is like this, right? And so in those type of cases, I feel like, yeah, you should give a little bit more, just a little bit leeway, because I also feel like it's abuse to stonewall your wife. You know what I
But
mean? And right
so
now we're talking about marriage, not girlfriend boyfriend relationship.
right. So
But
so so let's look at this
mhm.
comment now. He said, I would say when a man decides to open up to his wife, she needs to take that in and never use his
I,
weakness or battles against him. And see, that's what most men are afraid of. Most men are afraid that when I open up to you, that in return this will be used against me later on down the line because I've shown this weakness. I have made myself vulnerable to be attacked later.
I understand that that's a valid fear that people have, like, especially men. And that's a lot of the times it may be why a man is not opening up to a woman. And that's why I mentioned earlier, like, that man has to feel safe, right? So under the assumption that he feels safe enough to open up because he know that his wife is not gonna do that, or um well, I'm gonna say this. Let me say this because I don't want to sound like I'm backtracking. There's a
We
way.
don't do no crawfishing in here. This the shop.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this because, like, I agree with Trevor. Was that Trevor that sent the? Yeah, I agree with Trevor when he says, like, oh, that man should, yeah, like, he needs to take, she needs to take that in and not ever use that weakness against him. Yes, but also as a woman, God created women to, like, nurture and grow stuff. So if a man brings home like, if he gives us a house, we're supposed to make it a home. If he give us a seed, we're supposed to make babies. So if he brings home an issue and that woman is analytical and a problem solver, she's gonna take what he did. She's not going to keep it in, but she's going to do the hard thing, right? And that's like, I have to bring this up so that we can get through this together. And it shouldn't be, but I agree with Trevor though. It shouldn't be in like a battle format, right? He should be emotionally mature enough to understand that this is not a battle that we're going through. Like, we're going through this together. We're one flesh. But she should also do it in a kind and loving way. Like, speak with kindness, use words that don't trigger him. You know what I'm saying? Like, be gentle in the way that she speaks to him and suggest things in a way that allows this man to face whatever challenge that is and to logically think it through for the betterment of the entire family. You see what I'm saying? Because First Corinthians tell us that a husband have to consider his wife in all of the decisions. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think like she should just like take that thing and never talk about it again. I feel like that's the purpose, right? Like, when stuff happens, when arguments come up, like, as a wife, and we're talking about gender roles, right? Traditional roles, it's our job to grow, to nurture, to kind of like to make that a little easier to help with that man, a helpmate, you
Right.
know? And a man can't do that alone. You know what I mean? Sometimes he need that voice of reason behind him or beside him, like whispering in his ear, like, hey baby, this thing is happening and I know that it's a tough subject for you, but how about we go about it this way? Or what do you think about this? You know what I'm saying? Not like in a battle format, like, you wrong, nagging and, oh, if you was the man, you would do this. Like, that's not how you do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way to bring it up without putting that man on defense. There's a way to talk through whatever issue without having that man feel like you're the enemy. And like, I feel like that's the balance between gender roles, because a man is supposed to enforce, the woman sets the expectation. the man enforces that expectation. He made sure that everybody in the family, like, okay, this is what we're doing. He didn't talk to it, with his wife, and this is how this is gonna happen, and she follows through.
Hmm.
So I don't think anything is wrong with that. Like, especially if a man is like an introvert of sorts, right,
Okay.
or amnivert, which is in between an extrovert and an introvert.
Okay. Once again, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. If you want to come up, you can definitely come up. You can talk about it. If you just want to stay in the chat, you stay in the chat, whatever. Choice. But okay. Um.
Let me ask you this though. So
Yeah.
we're talking about these gender roles, right?
Right.
And so what about the intimacy breakdown if gender roles were switched? Like, what do you think a man would behave not as a traditional man? Like, how what would that look like? Because I've never seen that.
I, me neither. I'm confused on that. I don't know how that plays into the intimacy. If I said that right. Um, into that part because now you're taking on, if we say in traditional way, you're taking on the feminine side of the roles.
And the woman
So,
would be taking on the masculine side, right?
right.
So
So
a
that would
woman
make her a more dominant person in that area.
right. So a woman would feel like the provider and the protector and feel less of a partner and more like a parent, for instance. Would you
See,
agree with that?
I can agree with that. I definitely can agree with that.
What about respect? Do you think, because that's a part of intimacy too, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Uh,
Like, what about respect?
and that's what I think. I think once you switch them roles, I think the respect, is, especially for a man, that decides to be a stay-at-home dad, I definitely believe the respect goes away then, or goes to a
What?
different type of
Wait.
level.
What is your obsession with a stay-at-home dad? Like, is
Cause
that the only way you can switch the role? Like, what is?
I'm old school with that, and that it bothers me that we have evolved to this era in society that some men would be okay with not providing nothing and allowing the woman to provide it all.
Oh,
Like
okay. So
that
you don't
just
mean
don't sit
like
well with me.
special. Okay. So you don't mean like special circumstances, like if the man was to get sick or something or disabled and he's at home, not like
No,
that. You mean
no,
like
that's
he's like willingly, blatantly, like just sitting at home and he's not making any money and she's bringing in all the money.
right. Yeah, I'm thinking of that. Yeah, now if you disabled, then that's a different ball game. That's understandable. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't speaking of them type of men that have them type of circumstances. I'm only speaking on the men that sits down with this woman and solely decides because you're making more money than me, I would be a stay home dad.
Oh
You
no,
know,
he a simp. For sure. He a simp. No respect.
I totally agree with her because that affects them because he could project what he's feeling on her and it's not towards her. Yeah, okay. What we got here? Okay. That's why every couple should have a prayer war room for just him and his wife to go to God in prayer with their battles and leave it in his hands.
I agree with both of them.
Yeah.
I agree with both of them. Cause like when I was married, we prayed together. Like we had our separate relationships with God, but we did pray together at night. And I felt like that was one of the reasons why we stayed married for so long. Um so that's very important, you know.
Uh,
Um
You're speaking on a prayer room.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have you
So
ever done that? A prayer room?
I haven't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I have. I haven't. The my prior relationships didn't require that. So
Require?
yeah, they didn't require that. So
Okay.
I wasn't privy to that. Uh, so
Okay. I'm
Now,
sorry.
if that's required, then that's something that could be had. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
if
Like,
it's required. That's wild. Okay, let's just talk about that. That's wild. That I'm so sorry that you have not lived life. Like, are you not dating Christian people? Like, what is
oh
going
wow.
on? Like,
Well, I'm
what
gonna
is?
say this. I'm gonna say this now. I've
Because what?
I'm gonna say this.
What type of
Um,
woman doesn't pray? It's not required. What?
now I'm not saying the woman doesn't pray. I'm not saying she doesn't pray. What I'm saying is a prayer room wasn't required. That's what I'm saying. Like okay,
So
now, the
where would
person
you pray in your
because
relationship?
individually, because what I'm saying is, so
Oh, okay.
everybody sees stuff differently. You know what I'm saying?
I
Not
understand.
not not every couple has a prayer room or wants a prayer room. You know what I'm saying? Some couples just something just
I
happened.
mean, it's really intimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really intimate. I didn't do that before I got married. Like, when I was just dating people, um, I think I may have prayed once with a boyfriend or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
so that's not. It's really intimate, and so people, I can understand people not feeling comfortable doing it, but also what? Because it's not required. What? Do
We
you
talking
believe in
greasy.
God? Like, that is my
We
first
talking greasy.
question
I'm
when I'm
leaving it on the
talking to
line.
people. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That is literally my first question. I know everybody is different. I'm sorry. I'm going on a bit of a rant. But that is literally my first question when I meet people. Like, where are you with God? Like, I'm literally asking it. Like, what? Because like, what's that? God should definitely
Now
be
let's
his center.
say
Yes, I agree with that. 1,000%. I mean, cause like, what are you doing? Like,
so let me ask you this question. Can he be the center if you're praying individually? Can God still be the center?
yes, yes, if you're not married, and no, if you're in a marriage, because if you're not married, you both still need to have. I'm sorry. If you're not married, you both still need to have a separate relationship with God, right?
Hmm.
Individually, so that you can first and foremost know that God is speaking to you about this person. Like, how do you know that God wants you to marry this person if you don't have a relationship with God? Like, that's wild to me, to live life like
Mm.
not hearing from the Lord. Like, that's wild. Because like life is so much easier in my opinion. Like, I've done both. Like, we've been in situations,
Somebody
you
trying to
know.
reach you, ma'am?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nah, you good. You good. You good. You good. Okay. I think did she go on mute? What did she do? I think she
No,
was
I'm
on mute.
here.
Okay, okay. Okay. So Madeline say God has a person made specially for spe- specifically okay for each other person because if you unequally yoked, it won't. And see, I'm still learning what the unequally yoked being. I'm still learning that part. I really don't know what
The
the
Bible
unequally
tells
yoked.
us, right?
Maybe I ain't read that for you yet. I'm sorry. We being real. Being real. I ain't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Praying together makes you stronger spiritually because hell knows, he'll know y'all are stronger as a couple. I guess
I
that's
agree
true.
with that. So, so let's talk. You say you didn't know what unequally yoked was. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, you go ahead. Rock out. You on the
So,
stage.
so I believe in God. Let's go ahead, and I mean Jesus Christ of Nazareth, right?
Hmm.
That he died for our sins and he now
Right.
sits at the right hand of the Father. Like, that's what I
Mhm.
believe, right? So,
Right.
but Second Corinthians 6 and 14 says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness unto unrighteousness," right? And what communion have light with darkness. And so in the Bible, a yoke is like basically a wooden harness, and it's used to tie two oxen together like a plow, like to plow a field. And so if the oxen weren't equal in strength and size and training, they pull unevenly. And so the plow kind of went crooked, right? And the work became harder. So in the Bible, Paul uses as a metaphor when two people don't share the same spiritual foundation. Their walk together is usually like unbalanced or unstrained if they're unequally yoked. So in short, being unequally yoked is about being bound in a close relationship. So marriage, business, covenant, with somebody who does not share your faith, your values, your commitment to God. And it's going to cause conflicts because one person is trying to follow God's will and the other isn't aligned. It's like, it's not just about belief in God, it's about direction. Are you both pulling toward the same goal? That's what that means.
Okay.
And so, you're right. Go ahead.
Okay. He said, once you become one flesh in marriage, individual problems can reflect on both husband and wife. Y'all are stronger together. Bringing individual problems to him together will mean so much more. Hmm.
Right. And so, like I was saying before, I agree with that. And so, like I was saying before, like when you're single, because either you're single or married, right? According to God. And I mean, there are like widowed, right? You do have people, But anyway, when you're single and you're dating people, I would think that those people should have like a strong relationship with God. Like that's when you build your relationship with God. Like you don't start to build your relationship when you get married. You're supposed to already have it because otherwise you wouldn't know what God actually wants you to do concerning this person, right?
Right.
Like a lot of times different people are put in your lives for different reasons. And you don't want to get confused by the enemy by not paying attention to what daddy said, God, right? Like you got to follow the rules and you have to listen to daddy if you want good things to happen to you. You know what I mean? And so, like, if you're in a marriage, like, I feel like dating, that's a good practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, leading up to engagement and going into a marriage. Like, if y'all already praying together and y'all engaged, like, it's probably going to be a beautiful marriage because like Trevor said, you can bring that issue to God, right? But in a marriage, it's absolutely necessary. It's absolutely required because, like, first of all, the Bible tells us that it is, and second of all, like, it doesn't. It literally does not make sense. The Bible tells us that it leaves room for the enemy to come in. He can whisper in your husband's ear, hey, she not listening to you. You should get a divorce. And if you're not synced in with the Lord, you could start getting irritated by her. That irritation will grow to resentment. That resentment will grow to a divorce. And that's not how God ordained things to be. You know what I mean? And some people just think like, oh, well, you know, I don't necessarily have to pray with my spouse. Like that's mandatory in my opinion because like that's what keep you grounded, that's what keep you close, that's what alleviate a lot of the arguments. Because if y'all have a disagreement and both of y'all individually have a relationship with God and God tells the husband like, hey, this is what I want you to do while y'all in prayer, and then he tells the wife, hey, this is what your husband's going to tell you, then both of y'all have heard. You know what I mean? Like that's how you can check. You feel me?
Right.
Like so it's like now she know what to do. She know that her husband is aligned. You know what I mean? And then like if a husband is not aligned with God in that way, it puts the wife in a really, really bad position. Because I've been in that position before. Like then you have to choose. And what do I mean by that? Like spiritually there's an order. It's God, then it's the husband, then it's the wife, and then it's the kids and everybody else. So as a wife, if my husband at any time becomes unaligned with God, he needs to go back and repent immediately. If he does not and he stays unaligned for too long, God is going to punish him and in turn I get punished. God's not going to listen to his prayer. So because we're one flesh, my prayers are going to get hindered. And then it's going to put like natural stress on me as well. Because then I have to make a decision. Do I want to still follow behind a man that's not listening to the word of God? which the Lord says it, you know, he's not going to listen to him if he mistreating his baby girl. You know what I'm saying? Or do I do the right thing and usurp my husband and just follow God so the children won't get affected, assuming that there's kids? You see what I'm saying? So it, like, you can just avoid that just by putting God in the center, so that your wife don't be strained, so that God can bless you, so that the marriage is blessed, so that y'all are closer. You know what I mean? It's just
Right.
simpler that way. Like, why would you want to do something the hard way when you could do it the easy way? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's kind of like common sense. Like,
Okay. Madeline said, "You put God at the center of your marriage. Things happen in His will, and things fall into place."
absolutely.
It's a spirit of discernment. Okay.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy that it says in the Bible that if a man treats his wife wrong, his prayers would not be answered. It said that?
Yeah.
Whoa. Hmm. Okay. Huh. But then we have to define what's wrong. See what I'm saying? Like, do we know exactly what's treating a wife wrong? Because we can say the only thing could be fornication. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or adultery, you know what I'm saying? I mean, adultery, not fornication. Because we talk about a wife.
No,
So,
No, First Peter 3:7 says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to the knowledge given honor unto the wife, as honor, as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together of grace of life, that your prayers not be hindered. So that means if a man mistreats his wife, God literally says that he blocks your prayers. Like, it literally says that your prayers be not hindered. Like, so if you don't want your prayers to be hindered, treat your wife right. Your wife right. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied.
no, you
And
fine.
then like, and then James 5:16 say the effectual prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So if a husband is out of line with God, living unrighteously, then his prayers lose their effectiveness.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And then Isaiah 59:2 say, but your iniquities have separated you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear. So sin, including how you treat people, interrupts prayers being heard. So the Bible absolutely says that. Not just for a husband, but for, for prayers being hindered in general. But specifically in a marriage, absolutely. That man will not be heard by God. Like, God don't, just think about it. Like, think about it. If God is the daddy of all of us, he created all of us. That's our heavenly father, right? And you got a daughter. Would you want a man treating your daughter? Let's just say you gave that man, your daughter's hand in marriage. Okay? Your daughter is married. But you watching over her, right?
Right.
Would you want that man to mistreat your daughter? No, you'd be upset about that, right?
Right.
That would
Yeah.
make you mad, right? Okay, so God is the same way. Like, why are you playing with his daughter? Why are you not listening to his daughter? Why are you not considering his daughter and think ain't nothing gonna happen to you? And you the head of the household. Like, it's just like in the Bible in Genesis, both of them ate the fruit, the forbidden fruit. But God reprimanded Adam. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm on the fence with that though. See, I think it should have been solely on Eve because Eve was the one who ate it first. You know what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
need to read back a couple of chapters before
Like,
that.
I mean, I
He
know,
gave Adam a job, right?
right?
And then he gave Adam a woman. It was Adam's job to keep that woman in place. Like, she wasn't even remembering the word right. If you
I
remember
mean,
back.
she being a typical woman though. You know, y'all don't listen.
Right. So my point is, as a man, it's your job. What Adam should have done was knock that fruit out of her hand when she was like, "Do you want to eat this?" Because the Bible say he was standing right next to her. It wasn't like he wandered off. When she presented that fruit to him, whatever it was, right? He should
Hmm.
have knocked it out her hand and said, "No, God said we can't eat this. What are you doing?" And that would have been the end of that. Like, the reason Jesus had to come was because Adam didn't do that. Like, what?
Okay.
Like, he wasn't taking responsibility away. This woman that you gave me, she the one. Like, he was a blamer. Like that's why we in the predicament that we in now because a man not handling accountability. So you can
Yeah,
stop.
I'd have played that too. I'd have been right there with Adam. I'm sorry. Hey, she did it. She right there. Like, get her first.
Hmm.
I'd have been right there with Adam. She said, but it's also the wages of sin or death. And that's
Yes.
true. Yeah, man, that's true. Yeah, I believe that now. The other stuff I don't be knowing about because y'all going deep on
I
me
mean,
now.
but keeping to the topic though, like absolutely it's a man's responsibility to run the household. Absolutely, it's a man's
So
responsibility to
so
oversee things in the house.
so let me put two and two together. So we put two and two together. We can say the gender roles from the beginning had already started changing because Eve took it upon herself to do something that she wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You could say that.
Hmm.
Absolutely. She wasn't supposed to do that.
So we blame Eve because Eve started it all.
I mean, but here we go. We women mad at Eve for another reason, but let's not get into that.
That's another
Because that
that's
punishment was
another
harsh.
podcast. That's another
Yeah, that
podcast.
was harsh.
Hey, and I don't care. Like I podcast about anything. Y'all can come over here and talk about it all night long. I don't be caring. If y'all just tell me, hey, a night y'all want to talk about it, y'all hop on. We'll talk
I
about it.
like the way the gender roles are. Like
Oh,
traditionally, I like it because like if you look at it like God take care of his baby girls. So I ain't into that feminism. I'm a man. I could be just like a man and do what a man do. No, no, thank you. Sorry, ma'am.
so
Sorry,
so you
because
don't
we
want to get
women
out there
got
and
it
mow the
good.
yard. You don't want to get out there and mow the yard and
I
chop
don't feel
down
like it's
trees
nothing.
and stuff
Okay,
like
so
that.
let me clarify. I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with like a woman who loves gardening, going and mowing the yard, but she loves gardening. I don't. I'm not finna go mow the yard. I'm a woman.
Okay,
Period.
okay,
Like I'm not finna go be a firefighter. That's a man's job. Period. You're
okay.
not finna give me wrinkles. Like, no, thank you. I wasn't created for that.
Mm,
It's not my
I
job to
hear that.
create, like things from scratch. Like that's your job, right? I don't think I'm supposed to be making his babies.
And the food.
Well,
Don't forget the food.
don't forget the food.
Yeah, don't forget the food. Now you got to make the food too. That what they say, ain't that what the woman's supposed to do?
I
You
like
say you
chicken, yeah.
traditional now.
We traditional,
Traditional
yeah.
role. Okay,
That's
okay,
not all they do though. We grow stuff is what I'm saying. Like a
okay,
man gives a woman a thing and a woman multiplies it. That's all I'm saying.
okay.
I'm not
So,
saying like literally don't create a work of art or don't create a meal. I'm saying like a man's job is to provide and to protect. A
right.
woman's job is to grow and to nurture, right? And so like if I'm a woman and I'm not growing and nurturing anything, I'm gonna feel out of place. The same way that you said you'll feel out of place, just not providing, sitting at home all day. Do
So
you get
okay.
what I'm
Question.
saying?
So question. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Question. Okay, so do the woman supposed to still nurture that man, or is just her job to nurture the children?
Yeah, she nurtured her husband. What do you mean?
Okay,
Like,
I just
I
want
don't
to
mean
make sure.
like let's not confuse
Want
nurture
to make
and
sure.
mother because you got one of those. Like, I'm not finna be your mom.
Right.
I'm not finna like nag over you and be like, you should have did. No, like it's honey, did you forget out to take out the trash? Like it's okay. You could do it when you get ready, right? Or
Right.
hey, the trash is overflowing, honey. A little back rub, little kiss on the cheek. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a way to do it, but like I wouldn't be. You ain't wait for nothing. Some women. You ain't
Right.
took out the
Right.
trash. This the third time this week. It's
Right.
not
And who
like
wants to
don't
come
do
home
that.
to that?
Nobody wants to come home to that, right?
Right.
And a woman don't want to come home to a nagging man either.
I mean, well, if you ain't got the food cooked, I'm just saying, like we got to say, it got to be some type of discussion. If that food ain't hot when I get home, you give a woman, I think she missed what house there, turns it into a home.
Right. And I said that
Yeah,
earlier. Absolutely.
yeah, okay,
Absolutely. You give a
true.
woman a house, she turns it into a home. She grows it, she multiplies it. You give a woman a seed, she turns it into children, right? She multiplies it. That's what we do. That's what we're great at. Like, don't take away our greatness.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
No, go be great now. Go be great. I
Let
just
us be great.
just need to be great at them aspects when they need to be great at. Now you see what I'm saying? They don't need to
Which
be.
aspects are those?
I'm saying the multiplying and the taking care of the house. You see what I'm saying? Like so I need food.
That's all
You
you
know what I'm
know.
saying? And I be hungry. I be hungry. So that's why I'm talking about food. Yeah, see,
Ooh.
there you go. See, hot and in the crease. That's what I'm talking about. Hot cooked meal. We don't- we traditional. We traditional folks. Traditional folks don't believe in leftovers neither. I'm telling you.
That is not true.
I haven't
Wow.
seen. I haven't
That
seen my.
what?
I'm telling you
I think that's a personal preference, sir.
this is what I've seen. Now I've seen where I've lived. My grandpa didn't eat leftovers, and my daddy didn't eat leftovers
And
every
I'm
day.
guessing you don't eat leftovers.
That's right. That's right. That's where I
Oh,
raised.
so this sounds like a generational thing. I don't think this is like
I think that's traditional. You're supposed to have a
I don't
hot
think
meal
this is a traditional.
every day. You can't reheat cornbread.
What? But you could crumble it up and put it into a casserole to make a fire casserole for the next day. Don't play with me with day two cornbread. Oh,
No day
okay.
two cornbread.
Oh, okay.
No about that. No day two. Day two. Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, wow. Day two
I bet
cornbread.
you. I bet you.
But
Okay.
but but like I said, so I mean, anywho, um, but that woman's supposed to actually nurtures that man too. So it feeds both ways. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
a woman. I agree with that. A woman is a nurturer. She's supposed to be
Left.
caring, raise and support the children. A woman is a helper. She's supposed to help her husband, her husband's leadership. And that's in Genesis 2:18, right? The help meet part. A woman
Right.
is a keeper of the home. She's supposed to maintain peace. I
Uh
got to
huh.
say that again, peace, order,
Cleanness and yeah,
warmth in the house, you
yeah.
know. A woman is a respecter. She's supposed to honor her husband and her husband's role in his partnership. A woman is a builder with wisdom. You know, Proverbs
So
14 and 1 say a wise woman builds her house, you
so
know, and
hold
it's
on. Let's moonwalk right there, real quick. Okay, you said honor. What do honor mean in that instance that you're speaking right there?
what do you mean?
You said a woman's supposed to honor her husband. What do honor looks like to you?
So I said a woman is a respecter, right? And she honors her husband's role with
Right.
partnership.
Oh, you said role. I thought you said honor him. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I have selective hearing sometimes. Sorry. Sorry. We ain't gonna tell nobody that. Madeline said, what's wrong with leftovers? Baby, that's it. They leftovers. That's what's wrong.
What?
That's what's wrong with them. They leftovers.
But to answer your question, what honor looks like in a wife, like in words, she's speaking life instead of tearing down. She's not belittling him in public or private. She's using gratitude, like, thank you for doing this thing right here, instead of only criticism. Like a wife would use constructive criticism, and most people don't know what the difference is. So, criticism is like when you tell somebody, oh, this is wrong, but you don't offer a solution. And constructive criticism is like, hey, we kind of missed the ball. We dropped the ball on this one. That's okay. This is what we can do to make it better. You know what I mean? Or do you have any suggestions? Right. So that's the difference between criticism and constructive. Right. And then a woman in actions, like what honor looks like in a wife in actions, like that's trusting his leadership, even when you do it differently. That's supporting his decisions, but also offering wisdom respectfully, that's building him up when he's weak instead of exposing him. And then the attitude, and I know a lot of men like to talk about this one, but what that looks like when a woman in a wife role is honoring him, that's valuing his effort, not just his results. That's showing appreciation for his role as the protector or provider. That's creating a safe place where he don't feel like he's in competition with his wife. You know, like for an example, like dishonor would sound like, you never get it right. You should have handled, I can handle this myself, right? But honor sounds like, I see the effort that you put in. I appreciate that. You know, baby, can I share an idea that might help next time? That's what honor looks like, right? In a marriage, in a wife. And so it's building him up, not breaking him down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I follow you. I'm good with you. I got you. That's it. She said, "Help mate." Okay, Madam said, "Help mate." Okay.
But let's talk about a traditional role in a man because you done said some things tonight,
Man,
and
only a man worthy of being honored. Okay. Yeah.
I agree with that because not all men have become men. They're just little boys in adult bodies, right?
Mm,
And
mm,
so, yeah, they are. They're little boys in
okay.
adult bodies.
Okay. Rock out.
We call those boys.
Okay.
And so, a traditional role of a man, I would think he is a protector, right? He
Right.
keeps his family safe. And then a provider, which looks like working, paying bills, ensuring the needs are met, whatever needs those are, including emotionally and spiritually. Okay. And then that man is a leader. A traditional man is a leader. He makes a final decision with wisdom and he guides the entire home. And then that man is also supposed to be the spiritual covering. He's supposed to lead the prayer. He set the moral and the spiritual directions of the household. And then
Mm,
that man is supposed to be a teacher and an example. He's supposed to model discipline. He's supposed to model integrity and he's supposed to model responsibility. That is the traditional role of a man. I go too fast? You look
oh no,
confused?
nah, you good. You good. So, so you don't think them things can evolve into that type of man once he's married, not before? Let's just
Okay,
say
so let's I
before
use
he
this.
don't have all that. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay,
once
here
you
we
get
go.
married,
Here we go. So do I think that can evolve once in a marriage?
hmm
Okay, so let's answer this question this way. Um, I'm gonna answer your question by asking you a question. So let's do this. When a doctor goes to school, right, and he
yeah,
practices medicine,
hmm
the practice is called a practice before he graduates. Do you want to know why? Because he's already doing the thing of becoming a doctor before he gets the paper that says he is. Okay, like let's talk about an attorney. An attorney is a counselor before they're an attorney, right? They're already doing the thing before they become a husband. So if this man is to the point of marriage, but he has not yet exhibited these things in any shape, way, or form, he's probably not yet ready for a marriage because he should be showing leadership in the dating phase. He should be showing providership,
okay,
protectorship, spiritual covering, an example in the dating phase. You should I ain't saying getting the full blown, oh, this man paying all my bills and stuff like that, like while dating, but he should be able to exhibit like, hey, I'm able to do this thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of
right.
like when you looking for a woman, you not
Looking
just
for
gonna
the
marry
lady.
somebody who don't look good or who, you know what I'm saying? Like if she don't look good to you, let's just say your type is athletic and slender. Okay?
I got to have some meat.
I'm just saying with a big booty.
Okay.
All right.
No,
Let's
yeah,
just say.
yeah, yeah.
Let's just say she athletic and slim with a big booty. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's your type, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind you want to marry, right?
Righteous.
Okay. Would you marry somebody 400 pounds and say, oh, she when we get into marriage, she gonna be athletic with a big booty? Or do you need to see that before marriage? Oh, okay. That's all I'm saying.
I mean that I need to see before marriage. I mean we being honest. Okay, that I need to see before marriage. Now,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And in the same way, I need to see my man pray before we get married. And in the same way, I need to see my man show examples of leadership before
Okay,
we get married.
but what I'm saying is, I mean, I ain't saying he's not showing these things, but what I'm saying is, what if he's not um, at a point to where you think he should be, but he's exhibiting these things, he's just not where you think he should be.
That's when
See
you
what
go to
I'm saying?
God. And that's when you ask the Lord. Because remember, if each person has their personal relationship with God before the marriage, God gonna tell you if this your husband or not. You see what I'm saying? And it
Mm,
don't matter what you say, because God did already said this your husband or this your wife.
right.
So You get what I'm saying? So if it
So,
needs to be a
so
little bit more time before y'all get married, then so be it. But if God say that's your husband, it ain't no doubt in your mind. You shouldn't even be looking at nobody else. If God say that's your wife, it ain't no doubt in your mind. You see what I'm saying?
okay.
So like in a situation like that, I would definitely pray about it. Like if that man was like exhibiting just a few things, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was
Yeah,
unsure. I'm finna go
yeah.
get on my knees and pray, baby, because what I'm wasting time for?
I feel
Like we ain't get no younger.
younger. A man doesn't become a man until he is willing and able to be a provider, teacher, and protector.
Amen.
Okay, okay. Some men haven't matured the way that they're supposed. They put different priorities above the right things.
And that's why they not married. Right there. That's why they
Bro,
don't get chose. That's why the
bro,
woman don't say
you
yes
say
to
how
the
they gonna
ring.
change and get chose. You can't say that about that man. I'm
The
out, bro.
only way a
All right,
woman
appreciate you, Zach,
is
for tapping in. Appreciate you, bro. Hit that like button on the way out, bro. Appreciate you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
hello?
Your phone breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You good now?
I was gonna say the only way that that man get chose is if he is Mr.
Got a lot of money.
Moneybags
Yeah, he
and
got six
she
figures.
and
I
she
knew
and
it.
she looking past she looking at the security or something. Like, oh, this man is financially stable and I'm marrying up or something like that. Or she gotta be getting something out of it. It'll be for fleshly reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah,
wouldn't be genuine. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. She got
And
a hidden
then
agenda on it.
yeah, it wouldn't be genuine. Like, cause women all want the same thing.
Hmm.
Like
Just
deep down.
go about different
We want
ways
to
to
feel
get it.
loved, cherished, and we want to be secure.
All right. Okay. Okay. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Feel you on that. That funky father. That funky father.
Here we go with this again. What does
Hey.
that mean? What does that mean?
It's just something they said about the $40 because women used to go for $40. You know what I'm saying? You used to pay a woman
I
forty
don't
dollars.
want the funky 40. He can keep his funky 40. That ain't even enough to get my nails done or to buy some tacos from Taco Bell. So you can't even get the big
So
pack from Taco Bell with $40.
so you would choose a man off of um all the things that you said, not just off whether he makes six figures or not.
What? I would choose a man based off of biblical principles.
Okay.
Like that is not I don't care what he look like. If God say this is your husband and that man is doing the things what the Bible say, he is taking care of me. Like Madeline said, in every aspect, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He a leader. He can pray. He love God. He doing what he's supposed to be doing. I don't
That's
provider,
the will of God. Do you
protector.
love
He
God?
protected my emotions. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
That man is a spiritual covering to his family already. Like then of course like what? Yes, I'm hopping on that. We get married today. You ain't got no ring? It's okay, baby. You know, like I don't have a
You going to
like
the justice of peace.
what? Where he at? Boaz?
No, no,
Where is he?
no, no.
Boaz? We falling out the chair for that one. What?
Okay. What you want to trip for it? Okay, fam.
No, like who want to scrub? Nobody wants a man who is not like you got to think about it. Humans are like really selfish, right? We think
Mhm.
about ourselves. How can this benefit me? And so in a marriage, you have to learn before you get married how to think about somebody else. And so if that person is self-effacing, if that person is self-sacrificing, like it's like, oh, okay, I see you, sir. But he also got a house, a job, a car. He's equally yoked. Oh, okay, I see you, sir. Right? But if you talking to me crazy and you're not emotionally protecting me, because a man should have the capacity to men should be more emotionally mature than women because they gotta save space for it. You see what I'm saying? For the woman. So if that man, he could have everything in the world, and if that man does not talk to me in a way that's respectful, why would God put me with that man?
Hmm, that's a great
God not
question.
finna do that to his daughter? Like what?
Hmm, okay. Good women look for the future inside of the spiritual relationship with God. That's what a good woman look for. Okay. And it makes better that he's a caregiver too, as far as if you're sick, it's greater knowing my husband is taking care of me. And that's true. I can agree with you on that one because you would uh, want someone that you have decided to spend the rest of your life with. Uh,
Yeah, that's a big step. That's a life changing step, right?
right. Life changing. Yeah.
Everything changes. Why would I marry somebody I can't trust?
That's fact.
You
That's
know what I'm
fact.
saying? Anything can happen, bro. Like, I don't want to be stuck in a covenant with somebody I can't. I got to keep one eye open and one eye closed when I go to sleep. I don't know if he finna steal from me, or when we go out in public, he's not showing me chivalry or respect. Like, if you can't care about what I'm going through, like you see, we going out on a date and I got on these strappy heels and you parked in a puddle, you can't help me out the car? Like, that's crazy. You want me to get my feet wet so they could be sweaty? So I could be uncomfortable and be in a bad mood for the rest of the date? Like, no. That's
And
why
sickness
gender roles are
and in
important.
health. That's true. Sickness and health
Right.
supposed to be together. Supposed to ride it out. Ride it out.
How you gonna ride it out with a woman that's being nagging to you all the time?
That's tough. But I mean, if you decide to marry that woman, then to your point that you stated earlier, like a marriage only enhances things. Um, you knew she was nagging before you got married, before you married her. So,
Absolutely. A marriage just magnify whatever is already there.
so,
That's why
but
you gotta stay on your knees and pray. You
got
can't
to
be just
up.
jumping into these. Yeah, you can't jump into these situations. And y'all need to have a great understanding of who's gonna do what in a marriage. You know what I mean? So this stuff won't fall apart. Y'all need to do that while y'all dating. Like, that's the point of dating. If a man not able to talk about that, like what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna treat you or what marriage looks like with you while he's dating, he not ready to be married. He don't have a vision. He's not a leader. You see what I'm saying?
What if he is a leader, but he don't know how to put that stuff into words?
Well, he could draw a picture. Like, I need to know.
He might not be good at drawing. He might
Well,
get
he
only
needs
draw
he
stick
needs to
figures.
consult. He needs to consult Jesus Christ, because I'm not gonna deal with a man with communication is very important in a marriage. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to communicate. Communication. Let's assume that you have a couple and they're married. If
Hmm.
you don't communicate what's going on with you, you could be in immense back pain from something that happened at work today as a woman, right? And your husband could be off of work, ready to decompress, and he ready to jump your bones. If your back is hurting and you can't even do that, saying no is not gonna make him feel good. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to communicate why you might need to go easy on me tonight, cause baby, my back is banging. Okay, you know
Yeah,
what I
'cause
mean? Like,
it shouldn't be no no's once you married. It shouldn't be no.
well, I mean, I ain't gonna say that because you do have special circumstances where people, that's why I'm saying the communication need to be there, because like that's just like if you're experiencing ED, right? That's America's best kept secret, erectile dysfunction, right? It's not getting up like you wanted to, and your wife don't know about it yet, but you found out this morning, and she ready to jump your bones tonight. That's gonna be a problem if she got a high libido, and you can't communicate that to her.
Well, if I
You
got
see
that
what I'm
problem,
saying?
I'm gonna fix that before we get that moment.
I'm saying,
That's
what if you
gonna be
can't
fixed.
though? Let's say the scenario is you
Uh,
found out this morning and you don't know what's going on. You cannot fix that. It's just not, Buddy is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. right?
Yeah, buddy, we
And now
talking
it's
all day.
tonight, right? Now it's tonight. Everybody off of work, dishes washed, food put up, kids asleep, assuming you got kids. And
Knocked
now
out.
it's time. It's time for the night to happen.
The nightcap.
Well, that's actually a drink, but let's
I
say we
know.
pass the nightcap, right? How you gonna explain that to your wife if you bad at communication? How long you think that woman gonna go without sex if she have a high libido without complaining about it?
That's a
How
good
this gonna
question.
make you feel that you know that she resent you for not being able to give that to her
Mm,
because hers is higher than yours? You see what I'm saying? This is stuff people don't talk about. We talking greasy tonight.
mm-hmm.
We talking greasy
See?
tonight. I'm just saying, like, you gonna have to fix that before you get in a marriage. You gonna not necessarily like ED or anything. I'm saying like communication because
Right.
how you say stuff to your partner matters. What you say, when you say, timing matters. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't go through something this week and then wait and tell me next week. Like, tell me now. Like, I got my big girl panties on. Like, I want to know right now. We can work through this together if we already married. Like, that's what we're here for. Like, your partner should be the person, your spouse should be the person that you should be able to.
Be vulnerable
Like,
with.
yeah, be vulnerable with. Like you say, talk greasy with. You know what I'm saying? That communication is like golden in a marriage. And if it's not there, if that man is like, oh well, I want to get married to you, but I don't really know how to explain stuff. Okay, well, we need to wait until you get ready to you need to read some books or
I don't want to
you know
wait.
well, I'm not
I
gonna
mean, that's what he gonna say. Like, what you mean?
been there, done that. No, like it's not gonna work because you gotta
What y'all
understand, like
gotta keep that.
communication is so important. God tell us communication is important. One of the first things that happened in the Bible happened with communication. God said, "Let there be light." You know what I'm saying? Life or
Right.
death is in the power of the tongue. Like communication is the highest paid industry in the world. If you cannot communicate, you are a child. I'm sorry. I know that's hard to hear, but you have to like
Hmm.
be able to communicate with your spouse.
Yeah. That hot meal in Greece will fix that problem.
For one night,
One night only.
for
One
one
night
night.
only.
But then somebody gonna be asking questions. Like shoot.
Oh,
What you mean? Shoot. Okay. I'm speaking from experience. I'm sorry.
okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, hey, do your thing. The panel is open.
Everybody is
But
different.
that's true.
So
That's true. But I do feel what you're saying. Like communication has to be uh very that's the word I'm looking for. Very present in the relationship, especially in marriage. Because like you said, when you're going through situations like that, you definitely
absolutely.
don't want the person to think that it's somebody else. And then there goes a whole nother other bag that's opening up that don't have to be open because of lack of communication.
But you got to think about it like this too. God command you to, as a husband, God command you to honor your wife. If you're not listening to your wife and communicating to your wife, that's abuse. Again, your prayers will be hindered. You cannot stonewall your wife. Oh, I don't want to talk to you right now. Okay, well I'll give you an hour, baby, but I'm coming back in here. We're gonna talk about this tonight because the Bible say, "Do not let anger go down." I mean, the sun go down on your anger. Like we need to be talking about this before we go to sleep. It's a reason why the Bible say that.
Right,
Like you got
right.
to have a certain level of maturity emotionally as a husband to be able to run the household. And if you cannot do that, you are not a husband. You know what I'm saying? Like you you a work in progress.
Yeah, right.
You can't, that's not something you can learn inside of a marriage. You need to be practicing before you get married so that by the time you're a husband, you're good at it or decent at least.
I feel you. I feel you.
Y'all need to figure out a communication system. You know what I'm saying? Like if you already married and that's the case, oh well, I'm a wife and I'm not a great communicator. Y'all need to figure out. You better put a mailbox on your door and a mailbox on his door because I know y'all ain't sleeping in the same bed, not communicating.
Mm.
And y'all need to write each other love letters or something to get the words out because
Remember, we don't eat leftovers. So all of them hot and in the grease. That's right. That's right. Don't do no leftovers. But hey, guys, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock. I got to get off of here. It's been great. It's been great. Uh, Great dialogue, great conversations. I appreciate each and every one of you. Any last
Why
words?
you, yes, why you don't eat
KYT
leftovers? That's
Studio.
crazy.
You, me or Trevor? Cause that was Trevor. Me or
Well, you
Trevor?
did say you didn't eat
Uh,
leftovers
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. Cause I don't. Well, I've tried it before, but it just don't
What?
taste the same to me. Leftovers don't taste as good as it being hot and fresh out of that grease. See what I'm saying? Like I don't. It don't taste the same to me. So I don't. I prefer it be a freshly cooked meal. Um,
That's your preference?
yes, that's my preference. Yes,
Boy.
yes.
Mm-mm.
So, um,
God bless it.
yeah.
God bless it.
So, so yeah. Once again, like I said, we finna get ready to get up out of here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh yeah. Thank
I
you for
appreciate
coming
it.
up. Thank you for coming up. Please continue to tap in. Please hit that like button on the way out. Please. Thank y'all for the dialogue tonight. Thank you for tapping in to Talkin Greazy. Uh, y'all are now officially grease balls.
Nah,
So, um, to conclude, especially about the subject at hand, or the gender roles changing forever. I think now we're just at a point to where you have to make a conscious effort to talk to your significant other, your partner, and see exactly what they want to do with the gender roles. Um, Traditionally would be best, but uh, today's society, they each man I think would definitely need some type of help. So hit me up in the comments, ladies, fellas, whoever, what's your take on this? What you think about it? Um, what's your role? Or are you just confused? Like, what's going on? Let's try to keep the convo going. But um, before I get out of here, what I always tell people: if you got somebody you love, tell them, hug them, kiss them, let them know. That's what someone's going through today could very well be you tomorrow. So with that, I'm out here. Until next time, keep talking greasy, but keep it real. Appreciate y'all. And we are out here.